every single cut every day. One person under that tree that shouldn't be, someone's not paying attention for 1 second, drops the log on the wrong place, it's all bad. You're done. It's over. One wrong cut, that falls and hits someone, they're dead.
You can swing stuff. Okay, hold on.
Like, look at this branch here, that's like a whole tree coming out of that. Very stressful job for Trav this week. Yeah, Trav was definitely lost some sleep probably all week, not just last night.
You have to be. You got to respect every aspect of it, whether it's excited or scared. There's definitely a lot of emotions that go into a project like this.
Come here twice already. This is our third time coming back this year.
Charlie Street Service has done so much here on my property. I've always been so pleased with everything they do, from the initial start to the total cleanup. Now this project is an unbelievable project, and it's taken a great deal of people.
And there was limbs going over the neighbor's house, going over his house.
Because it leaned very hard towards the neighbor's house downhill.
The first 2 times we were here were for storm work. As you can see right up there, it broke off. And it did a little bit of damage on this down here. And then we had to come back a second time because something else fell down. You know, those are kind of like warning shots. And now we're gonna take the whole tree out just so it doesn't damage something, fall again. We're gonna have to shut down part of the road today. We got a permit from the sheriff's office to shut the road down.
The biggest problem here is this huge tree is right out next to the house with a sloping bank in front of it. There was no way to get right up to the tree. So hence the reason for all these large pieces of equipment.
He wanted it done, but he wanted it done right, and he wanted it done safe. So that allowed us to take the steps that we had to take to get the right equipment, to get the right crews there. I'm pretty sure he's fond of his home.
A solid stone house built in, I think, 1942, he said when they built the house, the tree was already a mature tree. Probably 100 foot tall with close to the same amount of canopy width. And it was also probably at a pretty significant grade.
You know, it's not so much the tree that's the hard part though today. It's the house, the traffic. All that's really, you know, if we didn't have to deal with that, it'd be a lot easier. It's kind of like doing surgery today, you know. This is a rough one. It's big and wide. You climb up, set his line, get his lifeline, his rope tied in so that he can get out far enough on some branches to make some good cuts. We got a crane coming in that's going to grab stuff as he cuts it too, so he's going to work tandem with the crane.
Sammy, the guys from Arbor Pros, they specialize in those big trees. I initially talked with Sam, and we kind of met there in the middle of summer, and we discussed different options about the capabilities of his equipment.
Travis and I actually met 15 probably years ago. We both rode dirt bikes. We got this crane, let's hook up and start working together. And we've been doing that for the past 2 years. With this many guys, you can get stuff done really fast.
Well, right now, the climber's in the canopy of the tree, and the crane is actually grabbing a hold of the limbs, and the climber is able to cut the limbs. The crane's able to lift entire whole limbs up over the property.
So we got the climber in the tree doing the cutting, and the crane grabbing what he cuts, and then the crane will bring it over here and drop it. But also on the head of that crane, see where it grabs right there, where it's grabbing now, that those things pinch and will grab, but then there's also a saw blade attached to that'll come out, and the crane can cut all by itself. You don't have to have a person doing the cutting.
Now he can get up there and get everything right hooked up, and the other guy's cuts. It's amazing.
Half the time we can work without even talking to each other. We just know what each other's gonna do, where each other's gonna be, what the next step is, what to do. You gotta have you must be like a family, and you gotta really trust each other, because my life's in his hands and his life's in my hands. And you know what I mean? If I'm not too sure he can do something, or you know, that's not good. You gotta have people around you can trust and know what they're doing.
If you don't have that trust, you'll see a lot of people that are very nervous. But if you understand the equipment you're working with, trust the people that you're working with, you're a lot more comfortable doing your job.
The least of something going wrong is the log doesn't end up where we want it, or there's property damage. And the worst consequence is someone's maimed for life or death.
You got a beautiful home here. Look at
he wants that intact, that's for sure.
And tomorrow the weather's supposed to be better, so a little bit warmer when we bring the other big piece of equipment in.
We knew we were going to need something bigger to safely get the large trunk wood off of that property safely.
Well, we got a nice sized crane coming in today, buddy. It's the big boy time today. We're gonna be pulling some giant logs up today, buddy.
When they came in day 2 with that monster, I mean, that thing, it was humongous. So it kind of, that moment was a little surreal, like it was really happening.
If there's something that needs done, we do it. You see the guy that's operating it, and he's just too happy. He's like, we're about to do some work today. This guy has it 2 feet from his face. And not a worry in the world. He knows exactly what's going on.
It could reach 270 feet and lift 175 tons, so it's just amazing.
And they jibbed out to 130 foot, and that's where we were picking from.
When you're rigging something that big and heavy, you have to have a general idea of where that's going to go. You can't really just wing that.
Tracy, you want to drop down a hair?
If you're doing rigging, climb up, set your tie-in point so that you're maneuverable to swing out on your rope to get further out branches. The higher you're tied in, the more distance you can come out on a limb. Branch and branch off one at a time, then you rig the wood down on your way down.
You're using muscles you don't typically use when you're up there. You're in a tree for a couple hours, you start cramping and you get sore and you get aches and pains in different areas.
Half the limbs you see hanging off the tree here are a couple tons.
I'm good.
When he was at the highest point, he was probably every bit of 75, 80 feet. It was a tall tree.
Coming with the boom. Keep coming. Good. Cable down.
Think about 10 pounds just falling 10 feet, probably knock you out, might concuss you, could kill you, you know, and very rarely is it a 10-pound log that we're cutting. Usually it's hundreds of pounds up to thousands of pounds.
I honestly try not to pay attention to people because it makes you nervous. So if they're there, but I don't like gawk around and make eye contact with them, just focus on what we have going on. It's the initial, once it breaks free from the tree, whether it's gonna bounce, swing, you know, violently. After that, it should be smooth with the operation of the crane. So we just had to give it a little push to get it away from where it was caught on another limb.
Hold on. Okay. Yep. I can get rid of that piece of wood. Hold on, no. You're still under this branch. Okay? You're clear.
His final pick was 10,000 pounds. Pretty significant size piece of wood. When we cut the stump off, you could stand in the hole at the bottom of it. It was about 4 feet deep down into the ground, hollowed out. A lot of handshakes because everybody was happy with the result.
This is probably one of my favorite projects that we've ever been a part of.
Everybody at Charlie's Tree Service has been unbelievable to work with, and Travis himself. So I owe a great deal to them throughout the years.